A bash script is a file that contains one or more commands that is meant to be executed within your bash shell. Now, you're probably typing in individual commands right into your bash shell, which is great for simpler tasks and when you're getting started just learning. But as you get more and more involved with different tasks, projects, using a script is going to make you more efficient. Plus, since it's nothing more than a file, you can share it with peers, you can share it online, and you can leverage it later on for other scripts that you'll be making. Let's now take a look at an example script that I have here to just better understand the structure of one. This script that I've got is hello_world. It's going to be inside of the what is a bash script directory. The GitHub link will be in the description. Let's take this off and cover it line by line. This first line up here is what we know as a shebang. How do we know it's a shebang? Well, it starts with, well, depending on who you ask, this is either a pound, a number sign, a hashtag. I'm going to call it pound. But these two characters back to back, meaning they're together, the pound and the exclamation mark means that, hey, this is a shebang. A shebang is used to tell the environment that we're in which interpreter we're going to be using. So in this case, since the shebang is /bin/bash, we are telling it, hey, we're going to use bash, which makes sense because this is a bash shell. Following that, we have another line that starts with a pound character, but after that, we have some text. In this case, it says a script that will print out a message. This is known as a comment. Comments are used to document your scripts, provide clarity and context to what you're creating here. And you can place a comment anywhere at the top. Well, it has to be, the shebang has to be the first line, but you can place a comment immediately after. In this case, you can place a comment on the bottom. The only place you can't place a comment is in the middle of a command. So I couldn't copy this here and put it in the middle of here because comments make anything that follow them. So anything that follows this pound here is not going to be actionable. So it's not going to be interpreted as a command. So if you put it in the middle of a command, that means your command is not going to perform the action that it's supposed to do, okay? So keep that in mind. Following that, on line number 5, we have the echo command. We know that echo is used to print out some sort of text. And in this case, it is hello, world, a very common first project when you're learning new scripting languages or new programming languages, right? Now, this is a very simple bash script, but it really does contain the basics of what make up all bash scripts. We have here the shebang, we have comments, and we have commands. Later on, we're going to take a look at functions, loops, conditional statements, case statements, and put it all together to make a much more involved bash script, but we've got the basics here. So covering all that, you may ask, well, how can I go and execute this? Now, you might think we'll have to type in the name hello world and go ahead and execute that. But as you can see, we have the command not found. This is because our script lives in a directory that is not listed in our path environment. We've spoken about the path environment before in previous videos. So if I execute echo and print out my path environment variable, you can see I have a bunch of directories in here, but the one that I'm currently in, which is what is a bash script directory, is not listed in here. Okay, so that means we'll have to use the explicit path. Since I am in the, if I do ls actually to list the contents of my current directory, you can see that my script is here. So that means I can use /hello world to execute this script, right? Wrong. Well, this will work once we update the permissions. Now we're going to use chmod. We're going to use the chmod command to update the permissions. But first, let's use ls-l to get the details of the permissions of the script that it currently has. Now, that first dash here represents a file. So this is correct because this bash script is a file. Then it looks like we have read permissions for the user, and then everything else is not set. So there's no read, write, or execute permissions for anyone here. So let's update this. Let's do chmod. 700 is a pretty standard one used for scripts. And then we provide the name of the file. Okay, awesome. Now let's do another ls here. And now we see that the user has read, write, and execute permissions for the script, and everyone else, so the others, the group and the others don't have any permissions, which is fine here. Now we can go ahead and use that explicit path, which is again /hello world. And when we run this, we can now see that the message is printed out. Okay, but what if we did want to be able to run hello world, hello, let's write that out here, hello underscore world. Well, we would have to move this or copy this script into, again, one of those directories that is in the path environment variable. So again, let's print out the path environment variable and let's see which directories we have available to us. For user scoped scripts, this means scripts that you create as a user and you want to be able to run for yourself. It's a good idea to place them in a local bin on your home directory. So in this case, it looks like we have this home vscode-local bin file here. Now this directory doesn't actually exist. We have to first create it. So we can do make dir and we'll do -p. So this will allow us to make any subdirectories that we have to. And I already know home exists. I know VS Code exists as well, but local does not exist. So we're going to type in local. It's going to create that for us and it's going to create bin for us as well. Go ahead and hit enter and then that'll create that. So if I try to do ls/home/vscode.local, we see now it exists there and the bin directory is in there as well. So I'm going to use copy instead of moving. Copy hello underscore world, which is the script that we want to move to. And look, it already knows what I want to do. So it's /home/vscode /.local/bin. And again, this is the directory that we just created. We'll move that in there. Fantastic. So now if I do hello underscore world, the message now prints out. And again, this is because the script lives inside of a directory that is in our path environment variable. And this is just a special variable that holds all the directories where you can use scripts and execute them directly. Awesome. That's it for this video. Up next, we're going to talk about variables.